Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, May 5th. Man, this month is flying by. This year's flying by. It's 6:22 right now. We have about 8 minutes till market open. Let me go ahead and set up this uh, stream real quick and then we'll get started. Sorry, we got off to a late start. I had to check a bunch of messages before getting on here. So let me just get everything all set up real quick and then we'll get started with our session for today. All right, looks good. A couple more things right here. All right. Solid. All right, looks good. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Good to go. There we go. All right. All right, looks good. I'll give it a few minutes for people to make their way in. As people make their way, I'm going to go ahead and mark up the areas of liquidity over here. So I looked over at retail sentiment, guys. Looks like market is kind of indecisive today. So we'll have to play it by ear and see where exactly we'll be trading. You guys got to keep in mind that it is NFP week. So I don't know if you guys forgot, but Friday is NFP. So this is normal for the market to be moving kind of weird like this. NFPs is usually, I mean, it's one of two things. It'll either be really good for us or be really bad. It seems like it's been, pretty solid and decent for us, aside from the market kind of freezing up past couple of days. But I mean, overall, this is typical NFP stuff. It's not like, it's not like something random just happened all of a sudden. It's typically how the market moves during NFP. So let's see, morning Marlon, morning Solo, morning Peter, morning Kenny, morning Rashida, morning Kenny, welcome back. Glad to hear your car is fixed. Morning Miles, morning Maria, morning Craig, morning Christian, morning David, morning Jez, morning Saren, morning Marco, morning Fahad, morning Rami, morning Mauricio, morning Jessica, morning Professor, morning everybody. All right, guys, so I'm going to continue drawing up the areas of liquidity here, and then once we're done with this, we can get started with our analysis of US30 for the day. It's 6:26 right now, so we got about 4 minutes till market open. So we do have some time. There's like literally no liquidity on the bottom end. So there goes the markup right there on the clean chart. Hey, Melanie, morning. Morning, Professor. Morning, Andreas. Morning, Al. Morning, Angelo. Morning, everybody. All right, guys, 6:27 right now. Market's going to open shortly. Let me check the news real quick to see what we got this morning. Let me refresh this right here. Thursday. Looks like we had news at 5:30. So 4:30, 5:30, and 6:40. Or no, 4:30, 5:30, 7:30. Okay. So there was news at 4:30, which is weird. 4:30. 5:30 right here. And then we got news coming up at 7:30. There. All right, let me draw that over here as well. So we got 4:30, 5:30, and we got news coming up at 7:30. All right, solid. So other than that, I think we're pretty much good to go for the most part. So that's all set up right there. We got the news price marked up over there. All right, looks good. Other than that, let's take a look at the bias real quick. So retail sentiment over here is 51.49. It's not very strong, so it's just going to be indecisive right now. Pre-market fundamentals are currently down 250 points. So there's obviously a clear indecisiveness between fundamentals and retail sentiment, but it looks like we might be looking for a sell today. However, price has been dropping for so long that price might push up slightly before coming back down. We just don't have a bias right now, guys. We'll see what happens when the market actually opens in the next 40 seconds. When it opens, we can confirm, possibly what direction we'll be trading in. I'll probably be avoiding the breakout today for that specific reason, because we don't have a bias. Price can literally go either way. So if you guys do decide to take the breakout today, make sure to move your stop loss and profit as soon as possible, or pull out when you reach your profit goal. I think it's going to be a very, very risky move today due to the fact that it is NFP, plus there is no bias in the market. If there was a bias, I would trade in the direction of the bias. But since there's no bias, I'm going to be sitting it out. So, maybe I'll take it for a few pips here and there. But for the most part, I think I'm probably just going to be sitting it out realistically, due to the fact that we just don't have a direction, right? Price can literally go either way. And we're just not 100% sure. And I only want to take trades when I am, 100% sure. So what we're looking for here is, since we have a bearish momentum signal right here, we're looking for a strong red candle. If we don't get that and we get a strong green candle, as long as that green candle has a momentum signal on it, then that would technically be the breakout. The first requirement here has been met because we're looking for trades after market open. The market is now open. Second step over here, confirm retail bias, or confirm bias in general. We don't have a bias, so we can't really confirm it. So this, although it's optional, it's highly recommended and it's very useful. So I always use the second requirement here. For the third requirement, you want to confirm the direction of momentum. We have a sell momentum right here, so we're looking for a strong red candle. And then after that, we want to follow up with the confirmation that it's actually pushing that direction. If we get an opposite signal, which was what I was mentioning earlier. So for example, we get a strong green candle right here, right? In order to take a buy here, we need a buy signal to come up. So that's kind of what I was trying to get across to you guys. These 3 and 4 requirements, they kind of line up with each other. So if you currently right now, we're looking for a sell, but we can easily get a buy if we get, a signal in the opposite direction and it is a strong green candle. So otherwise, this will probably be the sell here for the breakout. I mean, we'll mark it up real quick. I don't know if there's any sessions down here, but if it does close, I will mark this up. We're just looking for a strong red candle here. Hey, Lisa, morning Barack, morning Ruin, morning JJ, morning Matt, morning everybody. All right. So we need this to close as a strong red candle. It's not a strong red candle, and the reason for that is because there's a huge wick on the bottom. In order for it to be a strong red candle, there has to be little to no wick on the bottom side, and then vice versa. For a strong green candle, there needs to be a green candle with little to no wick on the top side. At 6:32 right now, we still have about 3 minutes till it concludes the time limit for the breakout, but we will see where it goes. I mean, obviously fundamentals here are going to be bearish. If you look over here at the fundamentals, it's currently down 325 points. Looking over here at the heat map, we'll refresh this. Everything is red. I just find this funny because I saw some of the people like You know, obviously, yeah, I'm in the trading space, so I follow other traders. So many people said like pre-market that, oh, the US30 is going to be so bullish, and I look at it now and I'm like, nah, bro, you're so wrong because it's like super bearish. I feel like a lot of people are trying to copy what I do. They have a heat map up, but they don't know how to use it. They had it set to like the wrong settings, and it was showing bullish long term, but not bullish for the day. Um, you know, there's always a lot of people out there who are trying. Oh, here's a breakout, guys, right there. So I wouldn't take the trade here yet, guys, because first of all, it was a big candle. Second of all, there's no bias. So I'm not looking to take this trade. But back to what I was saying earlier, there's a lot of people who try to mimic what I do daily, and it's just not it's not done properly. All right, guys. So I'm not in this position. As I mentioned before, I'm not entering any breakout right here due to the fact that there's no bias, right? The second confirmation, the second requirement here has not been met. This technically here would be the breakout. I wouldn't take it right away because, as I mentioned, this candle here is kind of big. So I'd wait for it to retrace up a little bit because it might come back down. However, it might not come back down because there's no bias. And right there, you can see where this huge manipulated candle comes right back up. It's basically filling this waterfall right here, right? So hopefully you guys didn't take that breakout. You can see right here, it's just basically filling this drop from open. Let me mark up opening price. It's probably going to come up, retest opening price, and then come back down, which is typical. Yeah, it actually did. It's right there. So as you guys can see right here, price came up and is now swinging back above opening price, but failing to break above it, right? So if I was to take this trade here, I would probably wait for it to come back down, like I was mentioning earlier. But either or, I mentioned from the beginning that I wasn't going to take the breakout due to the fact that we don't have a confirmation of bias. Whenever you guys take a trade, you always want to take a trade in the direction of the bias. And you can see price is coming right back down, right? It came right up, rejected off the opening price, and then now it's coming right back down. This doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come all the way back down. One of two things can happen. Price can break above and push up higher, or it can just continue dropping lower, right? So there's no guarantee that price is going to come right back down. It's exactly why I didn't want to take the trade, because we don't have a bias in the market. So let me just go ahead and delete this real quick. And, you know, we'll continue analyzing to see where things are going. So let's go over here real quick. Key map is still pretty red, so it might be coming back down later. I don't know when it'll come back down, but currently right now it is still down 278 points. Looking over here at the retail sentiment, this is the main thing that I'm looking for. I want this to increase to like above 60%. Like if this goes like above 60%, then yeah, I'll start looking for some sells. But right now it's just too close down the middle. It's basically 50-50 at this moment because it's at 52.48. This can easily go back to 50-50, then it can switch opposite. So yeah, this is what I was just talking about like the other day during the mentoring session. A lot of people like to skip steps, right? A lot of people don't like to trade in the direction of bias. But for me, I just sit out the market. If there's no bias, I just sit it out. If this does start to turn, you know, higher and higher, then I'll start looking for sells for other entries. But currently right now, I'm not looking for anything. I'm just watching the chart. But you can see where price currently is right now. So let me just take this off. Didn't take that trade. I already knew it was going to be risky entering it. You can see the market is kind of playing now. It's playing around the opening price right over here. And I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back down, right? There's no, I wouldn't be shocked if it does. I'm going to go back over here to the 10-minute. There's nothing here on the 10. I was trying to see if there's any other entries that we can possibly look for, but there's nothing here on the 10. There's nothing here off the 5, and there's nothing here off the 3. So pretty much all time frames, there's nothing to enter at the moment. Price is pretty much just bouncing around opening price right now. So just a matter of, let's see, Craig said I took what I was comfortable with for an entry on breakout, account back to break even after losses yesterday, sidelines now. Nice work, Craig. So that was a smart move that you did there. You know, quick in and out. You just have to understand the position, guys. Whenever you guys enter a trade, you have to understand where your exit's going to be. You can't go into the trade and be like, okay, I'm gonna let this trade run, right? You have to go in and go in with the plan. Either you're gonna pull out early or you're gonna hold it for the longer push. You guys should never go into a trade and not be prepared for what's to happen. So Yeah, if you guys took and you got stopped out, it's fine. I mean, you guys understood the risk. I try to explain as much as possible from the beginning. If you guys are still holding on to it, it looks like price might be coming back down. I don't recommend anyone FOMO back into it. So Professor, I saw that you said that you got stopped out. I don't recommend re-entering it because, you're just going to double up your risk at that point. So, and I know you're experimenting with it as well. So yeah, definitely no good idea, Professor. And you've had a pretty good run of breakouts anyway. So, it's just about time that this was going to happen to you, but you'll bounce back. All right, so as you guys can see, price is coming back down, but I don't recommend anyone just hop into it for no apparent reason, right? You have to have a reason if you're entering the trade here. Like if you're entering the trade late, then okay, makes sense. But I don't recommend anyone enter anything at this moment, because if you look at the price currently, it's let me just clean this up a little bit. It's really just ranging. So we got the high right here, we have the low right here, and then we have another pending low right there. Price realistically is just ranging around open price. Right, nothing's really going on. Price opened right here, it dropped a little bit, came back up, and it came back down, and it's now right back at the middle. It's not really doing anything. So basically what we're looking for here is we're looking for some sort of bias to establish, right? In order for that to establish, we need price to break above here, retest, and continue pushing up, right? Basically, that's like one pattern that can play out here. Another pattern that can play out is price will break below here, retest, and drop even further. Right, there's two different directions price can go. The reason why we're looking for a technical bias here is because there's no bias on the retail sentiment. If there was a bias here, which is starting to build up, as you guys can see, it's now 53% long. We're looking for this to go up to like 60%, right? If you guys remember confluences over here, I made a new video for the confluences, guys. So if you guys aren't familiar with how to confirm the overall bias, there is a video on the course explaining it. If you guys didn't see the videos over here, I uploaded about, this overall bias video right here that I was just talking about. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 new videos on the K2 course, on the K2 website, basically, if you guys have access to the strategies and indicators. So when you don't have retail sentiment, we have fundamentals, we have to confirm the technical bias, right? Technical bias right here. I mean, if you're using a simple analysis, obviously it is bearish and you can tell it is really bearish, but if you want to confirm the direction when it's breaking out of a range, this is basically what you're looking for. You're waiting for price to really confirm whether it's going to go above or go below. Hasn't gone below yet. It's still doing the same thing that I just mentioned. It's ranging between this high and this low. So let's adjust this slightly, but not really anything different here. Price is pretty much still just going sideways at the moment. So here's the clean chart. Things marked up over here. Markup opening price. So price is literally just bouncing right back to opening price around that area. So as you guys can see, market open right here at this blue line. This is 630. There's been no direction set, right? Price is pretty much just going sideways. It dropped slightly, came back up to retest opening price, and then now it's just going sideways. No real direction at the moment. Craig said, can you put a red flag text box so I can copy this, Sean? Oh yeah, sure, Craig. So let me go over here to the markup chart real quick. And I'll just put it over here real quick, Craig. So try to take a screenshot or copy it real quick. Shouldn't take too long. There's only about 4 things there. So red flags when to avoid trades. When price is near the sessions, price is near opening price, price is near news price, and if the candle prior to entry is too large. Pretty simple for the most part. Madhu's asking if there's a triple. I don't see a triple right now. Madhu, it might have been on this candle that was like pending, right? This green one. That might be what you were referring to. Yeah, it didn't close. But it wouldn't be a triple because the trend meter is red. So the strategy that Madhu is referring to is a triple confluence. But even so, you still wouldn't take the trade because we can't confirm the overall bias right now. Like fundamental bias and technical bias are both sells. Retail sentiment isn't. I mean, it's technically a sell, but it's not that strong. So if you were to confirm overall bias, we wouldn't be looking for bias here either way. The bias is still bearish. Turn that off. Hey Craig, did you get the you got it right? Sorry, my bad. I deleted it real quick. I don't know if you're still copying it. Okay, perfect. I'll take that off. I just want to keep the chart a bit clean. Yeah, Charles said market is nuts right now. Craig said price is still hovering over open price. Yeah, definitely. So you can see here that a lot of people are getting faked out, right? I'm sure people got faked out with that bullish candle right there. They thought price was going to shoot up and then it came right back down. Don't take this sell yet, guys, because this can be another fake out and it'll just swing right back up. You guys can see my markup right here. This didn't play out, right? So this pattern didn't play out. So there's no bullish confirmation here. This pattern didn't play out. So there's no bearish confirmation right here. Don't hop into the trade just yet. You got to wait for, the confirmation before entering it. Also, this candle here is way too big. So what might happen next is a retracement to the upside. Check where the rejection happened. Right there, right? Right off the area of liquidity. So I'm going to just move this a little lower. And there goes a small little retracement there. Not a huge retracement, but it was a partial retracement. There's still no entry to take, but it is moving in our direction. So if you guys remembered our bias from earlier, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. Our bias from earlier, we confirmed that fundamentals were bearish. We confirmed that retail sentiment was somewhat bearish. Let me refresh this real quick. So what I could see here is I could probably see this number here increasing. As price continues to drop lower, you're going to see a lot of people try to buy the dip, right? Everyone says to buy the dip. When people buy the dip and this number increases, it'll probably just keep dipping. So one thing to keep in mind is to pay attention to this number right here. If this number doesn't increase, then price may continue. It may go sideways for a bit until people start buying the dip. And once people start buying the dip, and you can see the number there just increased. It went from 52 to 53. So see where it's at right here. Nice. Nice work, Maddie. So Maddie actually held on to the breakout from earlier, but he got out at break even, where he made like $80 profit. So not bad. It was just like what I was mentioning before. So here's the thing. Remember how we had the breakout right here? And I was telling you guys, if people are looking to enter late, because technically the breakout, if you entered right away and you didn't listen to my analysis, you probably would have entered and got stopped out. If you would have waited and price came back down and entered you right here, because like, for example, if you had a sell stop waiting right there and then it came down, it would have came down and hit your TP right away. The only reason I had a feeling this was going to drop was because the bias was, it wasn't a strong bias for a sell, but it was a sell bias, right? Because retail sentiment was like slightly in the direction of our trade because it was like 50, before it was like 52% or 51%. Now it's 53. The fundamentals are all red. It's 400 points in the red. The heat map is completely red, right? So everything here pretty much indicates a sell. It's just that we were waiting for it to actually come back down. It's not a strong sell bias because retail sentiment again here is not very strong, but we do have a sell bias today. It's just not strong enough for me to want to take any trades yet. So it played up. It played out pretty perfect. Oh, nice. So Ruin said, I had it. Thanks for your analysis, Sean. You mentioned it was going to go up, then drop to market opening. Perfect analysis. Held on. Shit was wild. So Tommy actually held on to it too. So he must have made some pretty solid profit off that, Tommy. The market does this. The market plays tricks on people. Like it tries to trick people to go in the opposite direction. But if you continue to so the main thing that I always recommend you guys use is confirm the overall bias. If you guys can do this every single time and only take trades when the overall bias is strong, then you'll win almost every trade, almost every time, because you're shedding out all the noise and you're only looking for quality entries. I think that's a problem with a lot of people. They get too impatient. They want to hop in right away. They just get too overly confident, and they end up getting burnt before they can see the actual move right here. So, I mean, great work to whoever held on to the trades here. There was a V1 right here. I think Craig mentioned it. Yeah, you're correct, Craig, 100%. This was a V1, not one that I would take personally because it was right at opening price. But yes, this would have been a V1 right here. This would have fit under the requirements or the red flags. When to avoid trades, right? When price is near opening price, it was right at opening price. So I would have avoided it. But if you were to take a V1 right here and you just ignore that red flag, which you don't have to follow red flags, it's just what I follow because I don't like taking risky trades. If you were to take a variation V1, overall bias was a sell. It wasn't a strong sell, but it was a sell. We had the high here. It was a double body. Oh, sorry. So actually it wasn't a V1 because I keep forgetting about this too. The pending momentum in the direction. So no pending momentum in that direction for the V1. So technically it wouldn't be an official entry, but if you would have skipped that step there, you still would have hit your TP. Not one that I would recommend though. Because whenever I take a trade, I make sure everything is met 100%. Let's see. Rami said, I moved my stop loss to 1,000 pips. It almost stopped me out and I took it back down for the full 50. I was away from my computer the whole time because I couldn't handle it. Yeah, sometimes that's what you guys have to do. You guys are full 500 pips. So Rami actually hit his full TP on the breakout there. Sometimes you have to do that. You have to step away from your computer because your mental is getting tested. But I'm glad that you hit your TP, Rami. I mean, I probably would have ate that loss if that was me. But nice to see that you that you got the full TP off that. Next time, probably don't do that because it's whenever that happens, people into revenge trade and overtrade. So just now that you made your profit, Rami, you should probably just sit out the rest of the day. Personally, I think that's what you should do because it seems like your mental is kind of screwed up at the moment due to the that trade. Okay, smart move. Yeah, Rami said he halved his lot, so you were risking the same amount but for a bigger stop loss. So yeah, no, that's a super smart move right there. If you feel that the trade's risky, guys, just half your lot size. What Rami did. Andreas said, I thought I'm putting a sell stop right at the bottom of the previous low, but I was scared of a temporary rejection that happens and I erased it. It's all good, Andreas. If you guys don't feel comfortable about a position, just take it off, right? I always try to tell you guys, like, sometimes you have to listen to your instincts and your intuition. If you don't feel right about a trade, just pull out. It's better to just pull out than to be stressed out the whole day, hoping that it'll hit. And it's NFP week, just like Maddie said. Maddie said, I need to get my shit back together, dodge a bullet today. Yeah, no, 100%, Maddie. Just, make sure that you're only looking for these quality trades. Yeah, Maddie said, I think sometimes forget, sorry, I'm gonna read it again. I think we sometimes forget it's NFP when we're looking for trades. Yeah, exactly. So just be prepared for like weird moves in the market, like this right here, this weird mess right here. This is a typical NFP move, right? Price will kind of just bounce around heavily, and this is it's a pretty big bounce around. Like this back and forth movement was like 1,000 pips. So it's a big bounce around right here before the actual direction. So this happens a lot where you'll get like a huge range, and all of a sudden price just goes to where it's supposed to go. Below, right? NFP is one of the riskiest weeks to trade, guys. So like if you guys are new here and you guys are not familiar with NFP is typically like one of the weeks that most people don't even trade during NFP. Me in the past, when I used to trade forex, I would usually not even trade during NFP, or I'd take maybe 1 or 2 trades. because it's just such a risky type of trade. Now that we're trading US30, it works a bit differently because we have a specific time frame to trade in. We just trade from 6 to 8, so we can catch the moves of volatility. But throughout the day, you'll see a lot of weird moves in price. So looking at US30 right here, it's now currently ranging between this high and this low, and we'll confirm to see where price will likely be going. Let's see, Victor said 60% long. Let me check the sentiment real quick. Thanks for that update, Victor. I don't see it on my end. It still says 54%. Let me see. Let me refresh this real quick. Yes, it's at 54%. I think you might need to refresh your page, Victor, because it was 60% long yesterday, but it was it's been 54% like pretty much all morning. You might have to just refresh it. I would prefer, so if you're on this page over here, this if you guys are using this one right here, this one we've started to notice that this one takes longer to refresh. So I would probably be careful with this. Or yeah, maybe it was 60% a few minutes ago and then all the buyers got stopped out. Oh, you're right. Yeah. So what Maddie just said, this number probably did increase to 60% because people are trying to buy the dip. Like when price was dipping right here, probably a bunch of people bought buys. Or what I can see is like from a lot of signal providers, you guys see this all the time. If you guys have been in a signal provider group, people will try to give you this crazy move, right? Price is dipping and they're like, buy right here because price is going to bounce. And then as soon as price drop, like as soon as everyone enters, the retail sentiment goes up crazy, like 60%. And all of a sudden price dumps right here and everybody gets stopped out. Because this is like a 500 pip drop right here. This is typically what you'll see a lot of signal providers do. Like they'll see price dropping right here, and then they'll tell you guys to buy, right? They'll like buy because they think price is going to push up. Like on this next candle, they're going to say, all right, price is going up here, guys, so you guys need to buy, right? And then they have their stop loss like super tight. I always find it like, it blows my mind how people follow trades like this. They have their stop loss like right here and they go for a huge TP, like something like that. So people will enter the trade here, and then as soon as they enter, you get a huge influx of buyers. As soon as they enter the trade, they get stopped out, and then the number just changes right back. So yeah, I mean, pretty much whoever's trying to buy the dip is getting screwed right now. If you like any other groups, I'm in this other group right now, and I did read their messages, and they are buying. So I'm like, damn, these guys are getting burned in the market today. A lot of people think just because it's NFP or it's Fed week that price can be bullish. That's not always the case. But yeah, the numbers just changed. So I mean, maybe it was 60% earlier, and then now it's back to 54. But if you guys are using the IG sentiment, I recommend using this website versus this website, because this website over here seems to have lag time. I increased to 55. Nice. Charles said might be insane to buy. Yeah, I wouldn't buy right here, guys. Price is still dipping. We don't have any entries at this moment right now. We need a retracement signal. So what we need is a retracement buy signal. So I do want it to push up slightly so that we can catch it as it comes, back down further. Currently right now, we don't have that. It's still dropping. So let's see what I got up here. Miriam's asking for the link. So here's the link right here, Miriam. Put it right there in the chat. There, guys. If you look at the Zoom chat, I sent the link for the retail sentiment. The IG sentiment website is fine. It's just that we've seen it where it lags sometimes. So that's why I don't really use it as much anymore. So thanks to Sisu for giving us that link. Previously, I used to use it before, but I stopped using it. I'm using it again now. Rami said I can see a back to open happening before a drop possibly. Yeah, maybe it's really far pushed to the upside though. All right, let's see. That's like almost a 2,000 pip push, but who knows? Never say never. We've seen it sometimes where I'm like, oh, this is never going to go back to open, and then you just see a random spike in price way up. We could possibly see that where they want to lure in some more buyers. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, because that's typically how a lot of, the whales make money. They push price up slightly. They make money off people pushing it up higher to, continue buying the dip. And then they dump it right after. They make money both ways. Yeah, me neither, Maddie. Oh, Rami said that was a few candles ago. Yeah, maybe over here, Rami, we probably see it. It was like about 1,000 pips, but not way down here. This is way too far. And what I recommend, guys, is not to chase this drop right here, right? Unless you guys have an actual valid entry, then possibly take it. But currently, right now, there's no entry for us to take at the moment. Prices is dropping way too heavy. You guys can see this huge waterfall here on the 10-minute. So if we measure it from here, where price was pretty much ranging and consolidating to here, price has actually dropped almost 4,000 pips. So when price drops like this, there tends to be swing back to the other side. It looks like price is, oh, so this is what I see happening here. If you guys remember yesterday, Powell spoke, right? So what happened here? Powell pushed price to the upside. Price consolidated. Where do I see price coming back to? Back to where it was previously down here. Because this is where price is supposed to be, right? This is a manipulated push yesterday because the Fed spoke, right? It was Fed day, Fed week. So the Fed spoke, price pushed up heavily, consolidated a bit, and then now it's coming right back down to correct. It's basically correcting back to where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be down here. There's no reason for it to be that high. So if you look at, so this is where price was the entire week, right? Price is right down the middle. All of a sudden, Powell wants to speak, pushes price up. He manipulates price. Now it goes sideways again, and then now it's coming right back down to where it's supposed to be. And you can see right here from the sessions, this is like, and I'll draw a box right. This is where price is supposed to be down here. So if you turn all this stuff off, you can see where price is likely to come back to, right? This is where normal movement was happening. The Fed spoke yesterday, came back up, consolidated a bit right here, and now it's coming right back down to this area below. So the thing with this, guys, is you can take trades like on the way down, but I don't recommend you take a trade and just hold on to it, pray it's going to come down, because I don't think it's going to be a smooth move. What might happen here is you might get a retracement, consolidation, push up, drop, same thing, consolidation, retracement, and then another big drop there to make it right back into the area, right? So just keep that in mind. I didn't even notice that until now, because I totally forgot. I don't trade after the live, so I wasn't paying attention to like when Powell spoke. Powell pushed price like way too high up over here, so now it's just coming back down to correct, because this whole gap has to be filled. So one thing to keep in mind is just this whole area right here needs to get filled. This is like an 8,000 pip move. It's coming back down from that point and needs to reach back to where it was prior to that news event. So other than that, I don't really see anything here. I don't recommend you guys chase it though. And there you go with the bigger drop. So nothing on the 10-minute, nothing on the 5-minute, nothing on the 3-minute, and nothing on the 1-minute. Last thing you guys want to do is hop into the sell here, and then it retraces up, which I can expect. Retrace up and then maybe come back down, but there's no point in taking that risk, right? Unless you're like 100% sure it's going to come down. My thoughts of it coming down to this area is probably maybe like a 60% chance, 60 to 70% chance. But like I mentioned earlier, it's not going to be a smooth move to the downside, right? It's probably going to be a really choppy move. Yeah. So there's the trend line right there, actually. So it's actually a pretty choppy move to make its way down here. It's not, there's still a gap. There's still a direction for it to bounce around here. Come back lower. Consolidate. Trace, and then finally make its way down. It's just a lot of different scenarios here. You don't want to take trades when there's too many scenarios. You only want to take a trade when there's 2 scenarios, because you can be right or you can be wrong. You don't want to be right, maybe wrong, wrong. You know, when you have too many scenarios, there's too many different things that can happen. So let me scroll down a little bit and see what we're missing over here. Yeah, Victor said 1 hour will close, maybe pullbacks and more sells. I can see that too. Yeah, 1 hour it did that kind of slightly right here, Victor. It pulled up slightly at the 1 hour mark, and then it came right back down. But we need that retracement signal. That's the main thing we're looking for, because we need a pending signal in our direction. That's kind of what we're anticipating. Yeah, C6 said NFP week. I'm at my daily. Have a great day. Hope you guys have tons of profits. Definitely, C6. We'll see you tomorrow. Talanji said, yeah, way too overextended on all time frames. Yeah, no, I agree. C6 said it was a brilliant move. JPOW is prepping us for the other 4 rate hikes. No, exactly, and that's exactly what's happening here, guys. So like Powell spoke yesterday, he pushed price up, but you know, when the rate hikes come, it's just going to come right back down. Because when the rates go up, it's going to be more difficult for people to borrow money, right? So if it's difficult for people to borrow money, it's going to be harder for people to buy cars, pull out loans, buy homes, etc. It's just it's a whole manipulated push to the upside. Rate hike comes, push to the downside. Yeah, C6 said he knows he can't avoid it, so pump it up until, yeah, it's pretty much what it is. Yeah, Andreas said, right, now I keep my capital safe. There's nothing good to take. Exactly. Charles said, back to open, Rick. Definitely no back to open for me. That's a huge push. So if you were to ride this back to open, this is going to be, let's see, from this low, that's well over 2,500 pips. It's a huge back to open right here. Yeah, Kevin said it's already happening. I own a car dealership, and it's not easy for people to buy cars right now. Yeah, no, exactly. And I agree, Kevin. Even with me, guys. So if you guys remember earlier, like the past couple of months, I was looking to buy an R8. The issue with financing is, you know, technically I could buy it cash, but I'm not going to buy it cash because that money could be used elsewhere. By getting financing, there's a lot of restrictions now, especially with like a lot of these exotic dealers that I was working with. Their minimum requirements went up like super heavily. Not necessarily like money wise, but just loan history, because I don't really have any big car loans. You know, I'm going from like a Tesla to like an R8. It's like $100K difference. So they're not going to give me a loan just like that. Even if I put down like half, like 50% down, they still aren't going to give me the loan, which is crazy. So I'm probably gonna hold off on getting the R8 right now. I'm gonna wait until maybe this summer when prices probably drop a bit. Because inflation is crazy with the cars. I don't know if you guys have seen car prices, not necessarily normal cars, but like exotic cars. You'll see used exotic cars that are like the cost of basically a brand new one, which is crazy. So I'm probably gonna hold off on that. You gotta be smart with your investment decisions, no matter how much money you make. All right, guys. So other than that, there is a low right here. Let's see if price starts to drop lower, if it continues to push up higher. Charles said it's a past challenge right there. I know technically if someone was to cat, well, not that I would recommend anyone take it, but if you were to ride this all the way back up to open, that's such a huge push right there. It's like 2,000, it's almost 3,000 pips. So that's basically like 2 daily entries to full TP if it was to happen. Going back to the 10-minute over here, there's nothing really pushing around. You know, one thing that I want to keep in mind here is also the pivots. Oh, this is for the daily. Okay, I'll leave that there. This is the markup. So here's the markup that I drew from earlier. It's still dropping further. Yeah, no, JJ said it's extremely oversold, bro. It'll go up soon. Yeah, I don't recommend anyone chase the sell here, guys. Wait for the retracement. I know a lot of you guys are getting impatient. You guys are wanting to hop into a sell right now because you guys are seeing this drop pretty heavily. But you know, due to your best judgment, you should probably hold off. We also have news coming up here at 7:30. So news, it will probably push price up, or it'll probably push it in the other direction before it starts to choose the overall. Let me check real quickly. One thing that we want to keep an eye on is going to be retail sentiment here. All right, so this number increased pretty heavily. It was like at 54%. It's now at 56. So you can see a lot of people here trying to buy the dip. People are, well, not normal people, but retail traders are expecting price to pretty much swing back to the upside. And if this number here keeps increasing, I think this is going to keep dipping. And whoever is trying to buy this dip is going to get burnt. I mean, they are getting burnt right now. I'm just looking at the chart. Geez, there's a lot of people here getting burnt. Like, I'm just looking at where people would buy from, right? I could see people buying from here because they thought price was going to go up, and those people got burnt. And I can see people buying again from right here and then getting burnt again, and then people buying again from right here. It's pretty crazy. Like, if I rewind the chart from here, you know, basically, like, you see price pushing right there. I could see a normal retail trader or someone trying to buy the dip just buying from there because they think price is going to bounce, and it doesn't bounce because the sentiment is still indicating that it's bearish. Again, right here, I can see with price pushing up again right here, I can see people getting stopped out right there again as well. And then again right here, just a lot of traps here that are being set up that, you know, we're not falling for. Because if you guys ever see these patterns right here, people they typically tend to think that this is going to indicate a reversal, but it doesn't. It just keeps dropping. But here's the thing. So here's the double-edged sword. The thing is, there's people who are entering sells right now, right? Because people are trying to chase this and they're adjusting their stop loss to these swing highs. So as price continues to drop lower, you're going to see a lot of liquidity sitting at these. I mean, there's a lot of liquidity right here, right? So when price does come back up to these points, you know, you can expect price to really push up very high because it's going to go for a stop loss hunt. The problem with this here is that you don't know when that's going to happen. So say, for example, there's like a lot of liquidity right here, right? And say, like, you know, a couple of whales just want to push price up. It happens all the time. They'll push price up slightly to trigger everyone's stop losses, and then it just goes on a stop loss hunt, right? It just hits everyone's stop losses, and then it goes all the way up. So, you know, it's a dangerous game here to be chasing the sell, because when price does swing up, which is, it's going to happen. It's impossible for price to just keep dumping like this forever. When price does swing up, it's going to trigger all the stop losses, and you're going to see liquidity push to the upside, like pretty heavy. So, yeah, Maddie said, seems like a lot of traders blew their accounts about 15 minutes ago. So here's the thing. We're getting liquidity on both sides, right? Because, so as I mentioned earlier, so if you guys remember right here, I mentioned, okay, people are probably entering buys here, right? Because they want to catch the dip. What happens when people take a buy there, right? They put all their stop losses around this area, right, at the low. So if someone here is entering a buy, this is why price keeps dropping, because people keep buying, and then whenever price drops lower, it just stops them out and it creates liquidity on the bottom side. It's like invisible liquidity because we don't have the high lows down here. But you can see right here, when price comes back down, look when it hits this area right here, right? See that big push of liquidity? What happens next? It drops even lower, right? Because it hits the area of liquidity right there. Again, same thing. People will think, okay, this is bad luck, and they try to enter another buy right here. What happens at that point? More liquidity gets pushed down here. So as price goes down lower, it hits their stop loss. See the big candle right there? It drops lower, and then it just keeps dropping further because it's the same pattern. It's just in the opposite direction with liquidity sitting on the bottom side. So depending if you're smart about it, you know which direction to trade, which we're looking for sells here, you know, you can catch liquidity that hasn't even been developed yet. Like, it's there, but you just don't know exactly where because there's no swing low at that point. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. You know, the drop here isn't random. It's dropping because people keep entering buys and they put their stop losses at that low because they keep a tight stop loss. as soon as it, like again, right here, see how there's a low? If price drops below this point, then those stop losses are gonna get triggered again. And then you're gonna see it drop even further. But you don't know when this is gonna end, right? This is why I don't take the trades here, because there's no, there's no real market structure, right? At this point right here, it's basically just dropping lower and lower. Going back to the 10-minute over here, you can see it's getting close to that point. As price continues to drop, it's going to hit more stop losses and it's going to keep pushing lower and lower. But the problem is you guys are not realizing is that the people here who are entering sells, they have their stop losses around these areas too, right? Or we'll push this a little higher. So there's more liquidity sitting on here as well. So say if price drops below here, these stop losses get triggered, right? When the stop losses get triggered, what happens? It drops lower. Vice versa, if price pushes above here, what happens when these stop losses get triggered? Then price pushes up higher. Then, you know, where's the next level of stop losses? Around this point right here. And then it just keeps pushing right back up until it pushes up higher, right? So just something to keep in mind, guys. You know, I try to advise you guys as much as possible, the dangers of trading during these type of conditions. You know, I can only do my best to try to help you guys avoid these entries here. So if I turn on the SR, let's see if the SR gives us any zones around this area. The SR zones are like way up there, so they're not useful right now. But here's something to look out for. This area up here. We'll see if price ends up pushing higher. Yeah, let's see. Kevin said, I'm writing it down for quick small moves. Wouldn't recommend doing that unless you know what you're doing. I'm only taking sells while doing it. I'm up 6K so far. Nice work, Kevin. And Kevin's doing it the smart way, right? You're just pulling out with small profits rather than holding on and trying to catch that big push. That's probably not going to happen. Nice. JJ's up 3,200 for the day. Great work, JJ. Craig said, when I'm in the live session, I have all the patience I need. As soon as the live session finishes, I can feel FOMO trying to take over. One of the new rules, when live finishes, so do I. Trade or no trade. Yeah, exactly, Craig. And that's exactly what I do too. Once the live session is done, I turn off my computer and I'm pretty much done for the day. Yeah, Rami said, Craig, best thing to do is delete MC4. No joke. I pass all my challenges by doing that, which is, I think that's everyone's problem too. Let's see, Craig said, FOMO and jumping in to catch moves during big momentum like this is my biggest downfall. Likely the main thing that has held me back all these years. Yeah, exactly, Craig. It's all about discipline. So as you guys can see here, look where price hit. And see this huge candle? It hit liquidity right there because the people who are chasing the sells, they're getting stopped out. Now price is pushing back up, which is fine. This is what we were looking for. We wanted price to push back up so that we can catch it on its way back down. So clean that up right there. Now that we have that, now we can start looking for any possible entries that can come up. It's now 59% long, which is perfect. All right, this is perfect right here because the it's going up to like 60% or what we're looking for. So we'll let this build up a bit. You know, price is probably going to push up a bit. If you guys do see an entry for a sell, I would probably avoid the very first one because you want to make sure that price is actually coming back down. So if you get a V1, V2, V3, high, low, whatever you're looking for, if you get one entry here, I'd probably hold off on the first entry, let that hit TP, then take on the second one because this is the last thing you want to get caught up in. You don't want price to push up. And then what happens is you enter a sell here and then it keeps pushing up, right? You want this to like go down further so that when it does retrace again on your next move, you got that prime entry right there, right? You don't want to get caught in this, the fake out where price pushes up and it keeps pushing up higher. You want to wait for it to come down, confirm, and then come down for that second move where you can really make profit off that trade. You know, it's just all about risk management, guys. It's all about, you know, identifying your probabilities. You know, usually your first attempt is usually not going to be highly probable. It's usually with the second one because you have the confirmation that price is actually coming back down. The last thing you want to do is enter a trade and then it's still retracing, right? This is what you don't want to do. Enter a sell here, price goes up, still hasn't confirmed, goes up further, and then all of a sudden you take 2 losses and price comes all the way back down. And then you're like, damn, I should have waited for that. Should have waited for the confirmation, because now you missed the entire move. It's got to be smart about your positions here, guys. But our overall bias is a sell, so I'm still looking for a sell here. Definitely not looking for any buys. Like that. That looks like we're good. 10-minute over here. Still hasn't reached the point down here. There also is no entries there, so nothing for us to look at on the 5, 10, 3, or 1 minute. Let's see. Maria said, got FOMO today, greedy and everything you name it. Bad day for me. It's all right, Maria. We'll bounce back from it. You just, you have to be really patient with these moves here. I know it's hard. It's easier said than done, but once you do have your trade psychology down, it's going to make all the difference. Like for me personally, I haven't taken any trades, but I haven't had any losses, so I'm not really, I'm doing completely fine. Looking at everyone's profits over here, JJ over here locked in a total of 948. Nice work, JJ, off that right there. He took a quick scalp off the breakout this morning. So nice work right there, JJ. Nick over here, damn, what happened to Nick's account? Oh, he said messing around with the demo. Okay, thankfully you were messing around. So Nick over here was pretty much playing around with the demo account. Thankfully you were messing around and not taking real trades, because that would have been a horrible account to come to. Dre over here locked in a total of 240. Nice work, Dre. We got Scotty over here. Scotty over here locked in a total of 1,650. Nice work right here. Looks like you took, some pretty solid entries over here, Dre, or Scotty, sorry. So great work right there, Scotty. We got JJ over here now up 1,655. Nice work, JJ. And then we got Craig over here. Craig made a profit of 206, had a couple losses here, but he made it right back at the bottom. Unfortunately, he said after a fumble yesterday, got some gains and got the account back to break even, which is, that's the best option right there, Craig. You're pretty much back at flatline, and you'll bounce back from that, and you'll build your way back up from there. Scotty over here currently up 1,739. Nice work, Scotty. And then JJ over here currently up 2,683. So solid work right there, JJ. His again right here, he took another one. He said, I'm done for the day. Don't want to get too greedy. JJ over here now locked in a total of 3,039. So smart work right there, guys. Quick moves in and out. So great work. JJ's up 3,000. Scotty's currently up. He's right behind you, JJ. Scotty's now up 2,467. Nice work, Scotty. And JJ, just when he said he was done, he's now really done. He's currently up 3,577. Nice work, JJ. So smart moves right there, guys. But just be careful, right? At this point, I would definitely be a little more cautious with your entries. So I gotta turn off annotations here. Other than that, let's see, Nelly over here locked in a total of 2,767. Nice work, Nelly. I know definitely took 2 speculative sells. He's trading on his phone, so playing around with it. Barack over here as well, currently up 1,692. Said late entry on the breakout, 500 points, small lot. So nice work right there, Barack. Charles over here locked in a total of 585 off this account, 495 off this account, and 327 off this account. Nice work, Charles. Other than that, let's see. Duggan said, hey, Sean, just jumped on the stream. I'm still testing some strategies out. Been having some success with adding the VIX for extra confidence. If VIX is pushing higher, I tend to hold the short longer for extra pips. So all good to know, Duggan. I've never really looked at the VIX, but maybe I'll play around with it. Other than that, let's see, Vincent over here currently up 2,730. So I'm still looking at the chart, guys. I just don't have anything here for us to take at the moment. There's nothing on the 1 minute. Price is now just ranging around this area. Now that I draw the high here, you guys can see where the range is at. Price is pretty much just ranging sideways down here. 3 minute, there's nothing there, nothing on the 5 and nothing on the 10. Price is still trying to make its way down, but it looks like it's going to consolidate a bit. It's basically doing what we anticipated earlier, right? I was mentioning price is going to drop, probably consolidate a bit, push up, push back down, consolidate, then drop further. Yeah, there's not really much to take right here. There's a pivot scalp entry right here. For people who want to take it, I think it's a very risky move, so I'm not going to take it. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up if anyone's looking, because I know some people here are being really patient. And it looks like I already hit TP, so it happened too quickly. Unless you guys were really paying attention to that trade there. Looking at the pivot scalp, it's this strategy right here. Confirm overall bias, which is a sell for us. We're looking for sells. Confirm valid K2 momentum signal, valid signal right there. Confirm the price is below the K2 pivots, again right there. And then the trend meter is red as well. So that is considered the pivot scalp entry. This would be a high-low entry, but it's I would consider it a bit risky because it's a big candle. I probably have to retrace up a little bit before coming back down. But yes, if you guys are wondering if that's a high-low scalp, that is. I just find it to be a little risky, of course. See if there's anything else here for us to look at. Trying to watch it to see if I could make a possibly late entry off this. So I'll probably watch it a little bit, see if it drops lower. Candle that was kind of big wick on the bottom too. Just watching it to see if it drops further. See if it drops further from here. I mean, it's definitely a risky move. See where we're at. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna fall into this. It's too risky of a move to take here. But yeah, so back to what I was saying earlier, guys, it's all about just being patient and waiting for like the good entries. I don't really see anything good right now. I was kind of tempted to enter this high-low scalp over here, but it's just too risky. I was thinking about maybe entering it for a late entry, like a sell stop there, but I think it's just too risky to really play around with, especially during these kind of conditions where we do have a sell bias, but just the direction of price just isn't really, it's just too overextended for a sell. So I'll wait. There's no need to rush anything at the moment. Trying to see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely not the best time and place to be taking risky moves. Good thing I didn't enter that, because that thing would have been horrible. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna keep waiting for this to actually, make some movement. But I'm probably gonna look for variations. I'm not really looking for any high-low scalps. If I'm looking for a high-low scalp, I'll be looking for a triple confluence. So like we have a high-low scalp right here. This is like a very risky strategy. It's like one that we don't really take anymore. That's why I don't really acknowledge it. The one that we do take would be the triple confluence. So this is basically a high-low scalp, but it's with a momentum signal. That's one that I would take. These high-low scalps right here are just the problem with these trades here, taking the high-low scalp, is that this candle here was too big and there was a big wick on the bottom. So, I mean, that fits the other requirement under the red flags over here for the red flags. You know, candle prior to entries is too large. So I'm just gonna hold off and I'm gonna wait for, man, this market today is just, I'm getting like really impatient, guys. If you guys can tell, I'm trying to like take some trades here, but I'm really trying to control myself with like not taking these risky trades. Because I did see the pivot scalp there and I was really tempted to enter this one, but I was like, no. The good thing is price never came back down to open here. So even if I set a sell stop, it would have never filled. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing right here. JJ said, bro, today is horrible. Tony said, come on, Sean, show us that you're a normal human, take a loss. Yeah, no, I'm really being like super patient. You know, it's all about discipline, guys. That's basically what what keeps up our consistency, right? Not just me, but with you guys. Because if I wasn't consistent and I wasn't disciplined to tell you guys to be patient, you guys would be taking a bunch of trades and it would probably be entering some losses. But I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here being patient. Oh, nice. Kurt's here. Kurt said, what's up? One of my first trade, K2's king. Nice work, Kurt. You probably took that pivot scalp over there. So it looks like that's probably what you took. Other than that, I don't really see anything else here to take, guys. All right, let me keep this up on the 10. There's news coming up right now in 1 minute. So even if you guys are looking to take a trade, don't take any trades right now. News is about to come up shortly. Henry's asking, Sean, I know most people use MT4. Do you know anyone in the group that uses C-Trader? Sam uses it. Your best option would probably be to message in the group, Henry. Just go into any of the premium groups and ask that question here. And then people will you know, respond to you whether they're using C-Trader. I know Sam's using it. I don't know who else is. I know there's probably 1 or 2 other people who use C-Trader in the group as well. Scotty said, that's ironic, Sean. I was right behind JJ, and I'm also a trucker trader. So we got the trucker traders over here chasing each other. You got JJ with a profit of 3,500. He's trying to stay up. Scotty's right behind him at 2,467. Nice work, guys. The trucker traders over here leading the way. So we got one right there. All right, so we got this news candle right here. I'm going to see where price is going. I mean, if price doesn't end up going anywhere, it's just going to be a matter of going back to square one. You know, I'm really tempted to just take a YOLO trade on my TFF, guys. My TFF funded, to be honest, I'm probably going to lose the account because they every time I make wins on my other accounts, my TFF gets a loss. It drives me crazy because I'll make like 2,000 off like my FTMO and MFF, and then I'll have 1,000 loss on my TFF. And I even made it my main account. So what I might do is I might just maybe tomorrow for NFP, I'll just let a trade run on my TFF. I'll see if that goes. If not, and I blow the funded, I'm not going to get another TFF. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll probably, or maybe I'll run it here and I'll see if I can let it run. If it pushes up, if this pushes to the upside, so this is what I'm looking for. If it pushes to the upside, like really high back to the open, and then mid-market over here, price starts to come down, maybe I'll take a YOLO trade on my TFF, just let that thing run. But I'm kind of done with TFF, guys. I'm not going to renew it after, if it does get blown. It's just not worth the time or effort. They still have too many issues to fix, and it's messing up my other accounts. So other than that, let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. I'm just gonna scroll up real quick, see if I miss anything over here. Nice work, Kurt. Scrolling down further. Let's see. No trades yet, Professor. Professor said stepped away. Sean, did you take a trade? No trades yet. Still, pretty much just waiting. Oh, thanks, Sam. Yeah, so Sam said Sam and Wesley both use C-Trader. And Barack is using C-Trader as well. So if you want to reach out in the group, Henry, they can probably respond to you on there. Or if you want to talk to them on here, you can as well. Let's see. Ruin said, hit my profit for the day. Hit over my profit for the day. Got to get off this shit. It's like a drug. See everyone tomorrow as usual. Thank you, Sean. Definitely. Ruin. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, Charles said TFF is ass. I agree. Yeah, I'm like really close to blowing that TFF account, guys, because every time I take a trade, it's in the negative, or it gives me like $100 profit when it should be like 1,000 or 2,000. So my TFF is like it's at 182, I think. So it's like enough for like one trade, because even with their crappy spreads and slippage, it's going to be like impossible for me to not impossible, but it's going to be really difficult for me to get back up from 182. Jesus said, yeah, I should get off to hit my goal. See y'all tomorrow. Have a nice day. Definitely, Jesus. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, Charles said, damn, that's crazy. 182K with no losses. Yeah, because so every trade that I took, pretty much, I had like a 1K loss or a 2K loss, like on Monday, I think, or like this whole week, the past 2 weeks, every trade that I actually made a win on was a loss on the TFF. Charles, they just got to put reverse trades for TFF, LOL. Yeah, I know it is BS, Maddie. It sucks, but it is what it is. I try to reach out to their customer support. They gave me the whole runaround. The same with Kip yesterday. If you guys saw Kip in the group yesterday, they basically gave him an email with a bunch of BS saying that it wasn't their fault. But yeah, it's whatever. All right, anyways, guys, back to the charts over here. I don't see anything here. I'm trying to look. There's nothing off the 10, nothing off the 5, nothing off the 3, nothing off the 1. So if you guys have any questions, you guys want me to cover anything, just put your questions in the chat. I'm not really looking to take anything right now. I don't want to FOMO into any trades because I do think price will probably push up a bit higher before it does, obviously come back down. So let's see what else we got over here. Hanny said, how do I get in the premium group so I get your input every day? I think you are in the groups, Hanny, aren't you? I saw you messaging. Yeah, you are in the groups right here, Hanny. I see you. You said this is Hanny. So you're in the premium groups right here. I'm not sure if you're in the other premium. When you signed up, there was links sent to, I don't know if you're in this one, but I know you're in this one over here. There's just 2 groups. I mean, there's 3 groups, one with announcements and then one with the trade talk and one with just normal chat. I see that you're in this one right here, Henny. I'm not sure if you got the links for the other. If you want to message me on Telegram, I can give you your links. But when you signed up, your links were provided in the welcome email. So you can find the links in the welcome email. You can find the links in the on the website. There's a lot of different places you can look. But if you wanna just message me, you can message me and I can give you the links as well. Matthew said, Dan, why are all the V3 buys hitting? I'm not trying to take a buy. Yeah, I know there's a V3 right here that Matthew just noticed that did hit full TP. And there's another one right here too that hit full TP, but I'm not looking to take any buys as well. It's just too risky of an entry. This right here would technically be a V3 sell. However, I do find it to be possibly a risky move here too. Let's see. So a V3 sell for like 400 pips or so. It's kind of risky though. I'm still not looking to take anything too risky right here. Let's see if I can find anything over here. Oh, sorry, that's not a V3, my bad. Yeah, the low high was on the wrong candle. My bad, guys. It's just too far. Let's see if I see anything else over here. Let's see what else I'm missing. Yeah, thanks for clearing that up. And this the market's like moving super slow now. Well, I mean, I don't know if you'd consider this slow, but it is moving kind of what I would consider kind of shitty because it's now ranging within this area. I'm like seeing things that aren't there. Like for example, I thought there was a B3 right here, but there wasn't because it was so close to this one over here. Other than that, I don't really see anything else for here. Anything else for us to look at here? Hani said, so we believe here in W or M to start. Sorry, honey, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know what you're referring to, honey. Honey's asking, so we believe here in W or M to start. No, we don't. Yeah, we don't trade patterns, honey. So I'm not sure. I mean, you probably learned that from another group. But we don't use any patterns at all, W or M patterns. I mean, if you're looking for a W or M pattern, you're probably too late to the trade because if you see a W or M pattern, you know that you already missed the entire move at that point. But yeah, we don't use patterns here at all. See if there's anything else here that I'm missing. So let me scroll up again real quick. Sorry, I'm missing this question over here. Todi asked, Sean, one stupid question. For the high-low scalp, how you count 5 candles from current candle which formed or low? Yes, that is correct, Todi. So Todi's asking, how do you count the high lows? So, or I mean, you're trying to identify where the high low is. So for the second requirement here, you want to count the candle after the high or the low. So for example, here, there's a high here. You want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, and this will be established as the high. Right? That's how you'll establish it. Same with this one right here. We have a high. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's gonna be the high right there. So basically, you count the candle after the high or the low. That's where you start the counting. Or if you want to count the candle, then just count 6. Then, you know, whatever makes it easier for you. Yeah, there was a triple confluence right there, Matthew, but it was a really big candle, so I don't think I would have taken it. Just another red flag there, even though it looks like it might have hit. Or no, I didn't, not yet. But yeah, it's too big of a candle right there. But it looks like it would have hit at that point. Yep, it would have hit really heavy at that point. No problem, Todi. Swelly's asking, what's up, bro? How do you get the labels on the indicators to show on the right like you have for the K2 pivots? So for that right there, you just need to go over here and go to your settings. So right click on your chart, go to settings, go to indicator and financials name labels. And you can see I turn it off so there's no names there. If you turn it on, the names will be right there. Vice versa, if you don't want the numbers there, you can turn that off. If you want the numbers there, you turn that on as well. Matthew said I took it. All right, I'm done. This market sucks right now. So Matthew actually took the triple confluence. There's a triple confluence right here. If you guys are not familiar with that, it was the same strategy that we looked at earlier. I didn't take any trades, so I mean, unfortunately, I didn't really make anything with you guys. But there is the triple confluence right there. Confirm overall bias. We have a sell bias. Confirm valid K2 momentum signal. Valid sell signal there. Confirm the trend meter is red. Trend meter is red right there. Confirm price is below the pivots. It's below the pivots. Fifth, confirm price is breaking and closing past the K2 high low. There's a high low right here, broke past it. And then you can enter on the open of the falling candle, which would be right there. Straight to TP with little to no drawdown. So this is like a really good strategy. I wouldn't take the high low on its own, but if you take the triple confluence, this is like actually really good. If you guys remembered, like I created this back in like last fall, and I think me and Patricia, or mainly Patricia, she's the one that took it. She hasn't had one loss applying the strategy. I don't think I've ever lost applying the strategy either. The thing with this strategy is that it rarely comes up though. Like this strategy will probably come up like maybe a few times a week, but if you do see it, it usually hits almost every time. So that is one thing that you might want to look at. Kodi said huge difference between MT4 and TradingView today. So guys, here's the thing with MT4. MT4 is a platform. So it's your broker that creates the price, right? So when you guys say MT4, you got to be specific. What MT4 broker? Are you talking about FTMO? Are you talking about TFF? Are you talking about MFF? Are you talking about Hugo's Way? Talking about IC markets? What are you guys talking about? You guys got to be more specific because everyone here is using something different. So like we don't know which broker you're using totally. If you're using, FTMO, the thing here with TradingView is this is also a platform. We're using currency.com data. So when you're on TradingView, pricing is always going to be different. It's because each broker is different. It's a contract for different CFD. Each broker creates their own pricing. So it just, it just really depends on what you set it to. I'm looking here at currency.com and I'm looking at TFF. I do see a difference, but I'm not surprised because TFF is on some BS anyways. They've been on BS for a long time now. I don't know how it is on FTMO, but there's always going to be a pricing difference. The thing with the pricing difference is that it doesn't matter, Tony. I feel like too many people keep putting emphasis on that, but it doesn't matter. If you enter a trade on TradingView, price is still moving the same way. You're not entering specific price points, right? So if you're entering market and then you're getting out with the DOM because it sets your TP stop loss, it doesn't matter if price is different. If I enter a trade here and the trade is executed on MC4 and it hits TP on here and it pulls out on MC4 because I'm going for X amount of pips, it makes zero difference. So just keep that in mind, guys. Just keep that in mind because I feel like so many people complain about that pricing is different, but it literally means zero to like the big difference would be just like what Tony said. So the big difference would be slippage and spreads. Those are the main difference, but pricing doesn't make any difference because price is still at the same point. If price is going up on TradingView, it's going up on MC4. If price is going down on MC4, it's going down on TradingView. The main difference would be the spread. The spread here on currency.com is wide, but it doesn't matter because we're not executing trades on here, while the spread on FTMO is like 100 pips. So just keep that in mind, guys. I try to explain things as much as possible, but I feel like a lot of people they get caught up on so many other things that don't really matter, right? Like brokers. I feel like the main question for a lot of people is, hey, what broker should I use? I mean, the broker is not going to make you as a trader. If you guys suck as a trader, you're going to suck. Doesn't matter what broker you're on. So you just have to really be specific with what, with like how you guys approach the market, because you can use any broker you want. If you're not good at trading, you're not going to be good whether you go from a regulated broker to an unregulated broker to FTMO to TFF. It doesn't make you a better trader. You're still the same trader. The difference is that if you are a good trader, you can go from broker to broker to broker. It doesn't make a difference. So Tody's asking, Sean, is there any specific reason why you use charts on currency.com? Because it uses raw data and it's the most accurate from my perspective. I've been trading on US30 for like years now. I've tried all the different brokers. Currency.com has been the best. So that's why I use it. And we use it just for the charts. You know, if you guys look at currency.com, typically there's no gaps in between. There's no, of course, there's going to be times where the market will freeze up. But if you compare this to like Owanda, or let's see, those are the brokers here. So there's a couple here that I would recommend never using. Owanda is okay sometimes. I would not use capital.com. I would not use Black Bull. I haven't used Pepperstone. I know they used to be a good broker back in the day. I wouldn't use Global Prime. So basically capital.com, Black Bull, Global Prime. I haven't used 8cap. I know that's the broker that you're using, Kodi. So I don't know how they are. These are all kind of new. So Pepperstone's new, 8cap's new, Velocity's new. Those are the three new ones that I haven't used. And I've been on TradingView for, I don't know, 6 or 7, 8 years now. So I've tested all these other ones though. And these are all like, they're not as great as currency.com. So, and it's just for the chart data. It's not necessarily for executing trades because we're not executing trades on here. But that's pretty cool that you're using 8cap. I might want to play around with it because I do see that it's supported on here, or it looks like it's supported. And it looks the same. So 8cap here looks just like currency.com. Yeah, it looks very identical. So, I mean, your broker might be good. It's just, so the price here for your broker is 33,186. I mean, it's not off by that much. It seems like a lot. So yours is at 33,200 minus 33,186. It's only off by like 14 points, Kodi. It's not really off by that much. I mean, it might seem like a lot because you look at different numbers, but it's only off by like 140 pips, which is it's not really a big difference. Okay, Patricia said, no, 8cap has issues. It freezes a lot. Okay, so good to know. Maybe I won't play with 8cap for now. Tody said sessions high low have difference on brokers. Okay, I think we're getting too deep into this. I mean, if you guys want to use what I'm using currency.com. If you guys want to use a different broker data, feel free. But I'm going to keep using currency.com. So if you guys want to have everything aligned with mine here, you guys can use whatever you want or use what I'm using. Yeah, I think that's just going to go too deep into analysis, Tody, with comparing brokers, because I'm probably never going to use 8cap or any of the brokers that you're using. So if you guys want to keep aligned with me, just use what I'm using. That's probably the easiest way to stay in line with what we apply here at K2. But you can use 8cap, Tody. It's really up to your own preference what you want to use. So guys, check out where price is now on the 10-minute. It went exactly to where we anticipated, right? It's right back to where it was before the news yesterday. So I wouldn't say it was a coincidence because we kind of did anticipate this to happen already. And now that price is down here, it'll probably now consolidate for a bit. So no surprise. It's pretty much just back to where it was before all this noise happened yesterday when Powell spoke. Yeah, no, definitely, Tody. All right, guys, 7:51 right now. Unfortunately, we didn't take any trades today. The market was kind of trash. A lot of you guys did take trades off my analysis or made partial trades off the breakout earlier, but I didn't take anything myself. So, congrats to all you guys here. Let's see if there's any more profits to show off here. Let's see, we have, let me scroll up real quick. All right, so JJ over here is up 8,000, or sorry, not 8,000. I was hoping it was 8,000. It was 3,875. Right there. Nice work, JJ. We have Patrick over here. He said done for the day. Market is a bit squirrely. Locked in a total of 4,888. Nice work right there, Patrick. We have Charles over here. Total across all of his accounts, he's currently up to 12,000 off his first account, 8,000 off his second account, and about 8,000 off his third account. So he's up about 18,000 across all the accounts right here so far. Nice work, Charles. Other than that, Andreas over here currently up 322. Nice work, Andreas. We got JJ again over here, currently up 4,923, getting close to that 5,000 mark. Man, JJ said he was done like 6 trades ago. He just keeps adding another one onto there. Scotty again over here. Scotty's still trying to catch up to JJ, locked in a total of 3,095. Now you got like the battle of the truckers over here. We got JJ over here. JJ was not stopping up, and he locked in a total of 5,136. Nice work, JJ. Man, you and Scotty, nice work. Got 2 of the K2 trucker traders over here, pretty much trailing each other. So great work right there, guys. I mean, hopefully my my little comments over here gave you guys a little bit of some competition there to make some more profit, because Scotty made another 1,000 right there. JJ made a couple more 1,000 right there as well. So both you guys did pretty amazing this morning. Nelly over here locked in a total of 3,879. Great work right there, Nelly. Wow, Kevin over here is up 11,475. Amazing work right there, Kevin. And killing it. Yeah, Kevin said Sean's analysis on point once again. Definitely, Kevin. So I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here are killing it just off my analysis. You know, this is what's key, guys. If you guys sit in on my live sessions, you guys will learn a lot just from just listening to me talk. Because this is, I mean, this is huge, right? 11K in a day, and Kevin is just playing around with these little scalps towards the bottom side. The real key was having the bias. The bias really helped identify to take sells, and it helped with, you know, overall analysis. And then Kevin's other account over here currently up 1,881. So nice work right there, Kevin. I know, right, Brock? We got to start a K2 leaders board because everyone's doing better than me. I got 0 profits for today, but I also got 0 losses, so I'm all right. But I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here killing it. You know, the profits come and go, guys. That's the thing with trading. Like for me, I have the discipline to just sit out the market while seeing all of you guys here killing it. You know, as long as someone in K2 is winning, that's a win for me. Maddie over here, let's see. Yeah, Maddie took 1 loss off this account. Took a couple losses right here. So his first loss in like 1 or 2 months, which is fine, Maddie. It happens, right? Overall, though, so Maddie took a loss today, which is okay. It happens. You know, shit happens, guys. It happens every so often. But he's currently still up 12K across all of his accounts. So this is how you guys have to see it. See it as a long-term goal. You know, if you guys are profitable long-term, that's really what's key, because you guys can stomach the loss whenever it does happen. Other than that, let's see. Jay said, woke up hella late, so market's starting to look choppy. I'm done. So Jay over here woke up late, but he's still locked in some profit. I'm waiting for this to load up right now. I'll come back to your post shortly. Jay might load up when he, oh, there we go. He locked in a total of 882 for the day. 3 wins, no losses. So nice work right there, Jay. Patricia over here as well, currently up 2,845. Amazing work right there, Patricia. Nice, killing it. Charles over here, he locked in a total of 585 off this account. Or actually, we'll go down here. Or I think these are all different accounts. Charles locking 585 off this one, 495 off this one, 327 off this one, 574 off this one, 505 off this one, and 322 off this one right here. Nice work, Charles. I'll message you in a little bit, Kurt. Did see that you pushed over there. All right, I think that's it for right now, guys. If you guys have more profits, feel free to send your profits in. I'll add them to the list. But for now, I think this might be it for the session. Let me see if I'm missing anything over here. Patrick's asking, Sean, is there a reason you use Fin Screener, heat map versus TradingView? I tried TradingView. It's not accurate. It's not the same. I saw it to be less accurate. So that's why. So I'm not sure if you were on the live session like on Monday, or I think it was Monday. I had the TradingView one on, and it wasn't accurate at all. So I'm not sure. I might have to play around with the settings or figure it out somehow. But the TradingView heat map wasn't. It just didn't look proper. That's why I still use the Fin Screener one. Other than that, that's it. Craig, sick day. Yeah, no, definitely. Yes, Lorm said fundamentals are down 800 points, which is insane. This is like, Let me refresh it. Damn, this is crazy. This is like COVID numbers, right? It usually doesn't drop this heavy, but we kind of anticipated this drop because we needed this to basically correct back down prior to, Powell pushing price to the upside. So it's all good. I mean, it is what it is. And it's dropped back down to where it was supposed to go. So other than that, guys, I think that's it for now. If you guys have any other questions, I think, let me see, Craig's last question right here. Craig said, is there a TradingView app for the Mac? Yes, there is, Craig, and I highly recommend you use it. That's what I'm using right here. It's a lot faster. It's native, so it works perfect. Let me see if I can find it for you right here. So let's see, TradingView Mac. If you just go to Google, they don't have it on the App Store. You just go to Google and then you type in TradingView Mac, and this will come up right here, TradingView desktop application. And it has it right here for Mac OS. It's the native version, so it's really good. I've been using this before I even went public. Like I've been using TradingView for so long that they gave this to me like years before it came out. So I've been using it, and it's pretty quick. It's nice, especially if you just want to focus on trading and not have random tabs open. So yeah, go ahead and do that, and I think you should be good. So all right, guys, if you guys have anything else to ask, feel free to email me or message me on Telegram. Otherwise, we'll be calling it a day. It's about to be 8. If you guys do decide to trade, I do recommend to be very careful. Tomorrow is NFP, so you're probably going to expect some, unusual movement in price as the market continues into NFP. So other than that, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a great rest of your morning, and I will catch you guys tomorrow for the next live session. So see you guys and have a great